Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Jay, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my homemade cinnamon buns. To start off this recipe, you will need 1 cup of warm water, a half a cup of sugar, and 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. Go ahead and mix that all together until it's well combined, and then we're just going to set that aside. Once your yeast has had a chance to become nice and bubbly, we're going to go ahead and add 4 cups of flour, 1/3 cup of butter, 2 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to go ahead and combine that mixture together. Once everything is combined, I'm going to go ahead and just knead this. I started off kneading it in the bowl, and then eventually I transferred it onto a counter. Typically, I would use my mixer to go ahead and mix this. However, on this particular day, my mixer did give up the ghost, so I ended up kneading this by hand, which is perfectly fine. Now that everything's combined, I'm just going to go ahead and take some olive oil and just lightly grease a bowl, and then put that dough mixture in there and just cover it and let that sit for about an hour. While our dough is resting, I'm going to go ahead and make the filling mixture. For this, you will need a half a cup of softened butter, 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, and 1 cup of brown sugar. Go ahead and mix that all together, and then you're ready to go. Now that the dough has had some time to rest, I'm going to go ahead and lightly flour my surface, stretching out, trying to make it as rectangular as possible. After I've made it as rectangular as possible with my hands, I'm going to go ahead, use a rolling pin, roll it the rest of the way, just to try and make it nice and even. Here I'm just taking that filling mixture that we made earlier, taking an offset spatula, and as best as I can, trying to make it as even as possible, and just placing that mixture in an even layer. Here I'm taking that dough ball and creating that classic cinnamon bun swirl by starting from the top and rolling down as tightly as possible, creating nice even tension. The next step is by far my favorite. I go ahead and take some waxed, unflavored floss, and I go ahead and I throw that underneath the log, and then I just take the floss and tie it around and then pull tightly, and that way your log doesn't get crushed and it creates that beautiful cinnamon swirl. then take my greased 9x13-inch pan and go ahead and throw in the 12 cinnamon buns into that greased dish. Here I went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Once my oven was preheated to 350 degrees, I went ahead and put my cinnamon buns in the oven to bake for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I went ahead and pulled my cinnamon buns out of the oven, and then I let that cool on the counter for about an hour, and during this time I went ahead and made my cream cheese icing. For my cream cheese icing recipe, you will need 3/4 cup of butter, 3 cups of icing sugar, and a half a cup of cream cheese. You can also half this icing, but I think that these cinnamon buns need the thick, delicious layer of cream cheese frosting. Now that our cinnamon buns have had a chance to cool, I'm going to go ahead and add that delicious cream cheese icing that we made earlier on, and just layer that on nice and evenly. And there you have it, soft, fluffy, delicious cinnamon buns. I hope that you enjoyed watching this recipe as much as I enjoyed making it. Join me next time as we learn together how to live simply at home.